what social media, what roles it has played in kind of impacting our mental and behavioral health. Because if anything happens in any part or any corner of the world, within seconds we know about it. Sometimes it's a blessing not to know everything, but now we are in times and we are in that social media era that we cannot resist. And regardless how much you try to resist or push back, it still comes in front of you. So as a human being, we have certain capacities, certain limitations. So it seems like at some point with many people, it's going beyond that. So it's getting tough for them to handle.
Yeah, it's an interesting question. This is a work in progress. We don't have much studies on this, and it depends on a lot of factors, what we do when we see clients and what these associations, when they do research, they come up with. Like American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry came out with an idea that the exposure to the media and the screen should be 6 hours or less. Then said 4 hours or less. And then people used to make fun of us when we tell them this. Like, 4 hours? Who watches TV for 4 hours on screens? There has to be. So finally they came out with like, okay, let's not put any limits because people start laughing. Some people watch television. I think you'll see now on an iPhone, you can check how many hours did you spend.
Screen time.
Screen time, yes. So screen time, you can have your own. If it's not affecting your functioning, let's say if you do 4 to 6 hours, even 7, 8 hours, and you're still at work or you're still doing your job and school and everything going on, then it's not considered pathological. Now the new recommendation is that you should not be using it while eating or 1 hour before sleeping. You should turn off. Should not be the first thing you should do in the morning. These type of general recommendations are helpful. But what is the impact of that? It depends on a lot of factors. Like if you're waking up and every day you're watching what's happening in the wars and conflicts and you start having nightmares about that, then means that's too much. And this is a point where you should start drawing a line. Some of the important points is number one, keep things in perspective. That's very important. Because what is the conflict? What is it all about? You should know the history. You should know what's going on, what happened, where do you put the wedge, as they say. Does it start on certain date and all these things happen after that? Or is it something was happening for a long time before that? So that when you know that type of thing, then it really helps you understanding the thing. Number two is the control. The control is the key in trauma. You need to take control of everything, even your phones, your health, your well-being, setting time, setting limits, finding out what is the healthy approach to all this. And the control is the most important thing. And then we'll talk about specific therapies and everything as we go along. As Mufti Saab mentioned, the community plays a big role.
Sure, as I said, history is pretty important because for most of us, history starts when we want to start the history. And that's not very productive.